Welcome to the show. The University Systems of Maryland at Hagerstown opened its doors in 2005, boasting 7 undergraduate and 5 graduate programs from 3 universities. Today, USMH offers 14 undergraduate and 8 graduate programs from now 6 universities. This robust expansion, however, is only a very small part of the USMH success story. We are pleased to have with us this evening Mark Halsey, Executive Director of the Hagerstown Campus. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We have many questions for you about your success story. And I'd like to start with talking about the history of how USMH came about.
Sure. I'll talk a little bit about the history and preempt that by saying it's not my success. So when you say your success, it's really all of the people that worked prior to me and all the people that are working today. But as you said, we started in 2005. We're one of 2 regional centers in the university system. University system has 12 universities, but because of a lack of geographic access, where there's one university, Frostburg, that is west of us, and 11 universities that are east of us. And of those 11 universities, the closest to us is College Park, which most people think is the other side of the state. So what the idea was to create 2 regional centers. And those centers then, rather than being separate universities, they offer classes and courses from the existing universities. So we can cherry pick and have a program from this university and a program from that university, and we combine them together into a center without all of the expense of creating a new university. Beyond that, our administrative functions, what we talk about is behind the scenes things, HR and purchasing and that sort of thing. That's all taken care of by one of the universities under contract, so we don't have to duplicate those expenses either.
If I may ask you, how do you cherry pick the programs of study from each of the colleges? How do you determine what the demand is here in Hagerstown?
The needs are, we do almost constant needs assessment. Some of that is formal with surveys. Much of it is going to the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Hagerstown, lots of nonprofit boards that I'm on, and talk to them about what are their needs. And we are hearing today about what workforce needs are. For instance, we do not at this point have any active certificate programs. Everything is a degree program. But to help with workforce development, that's one of the things that we're looking at, is creating some certificates for people and the companies that can actually send their employees to there.
Well, I personally went to Salisbury University, and I was thrilled when I saw that they added the social work program.
Exactly.
Correct? And
exactly.
It's just neat to have that, alumni and that feeling of your college right here downtown.
Well, and we really do have alumni and students from throughout the state. It's difficult to get too much more east than Salisbury,
right?
And certainly Frostburg is the most western campus. And what we are hoping as time goes on, that more and more of those students will find work here and will be remaining here. So we don't talk about them being alumni. The universities are very specific that the degrees are offered by the universities, not by USMH. We are a catalyst for them getting their degree, but we don't offer the degree. So, for instance, if you were to come here for social work with Salisbury, you would continue to get a Salisbury diploma. You would get a Salisbury transcript. And in fact, neither the transcript nor the diploma would mention USMH. So if you were to move to Chicago, you would say, I graduated from Salisbury, and the reason we do that is to underline the importance that when you study at USMH, you're getting exactly the same quality education as if you were to take those same courses or that same program on main campus. There is no difference in the alumni or the graduating student. And as a result of that, there are other universities in other states that make those kind of demarcations. So they will say if you went to a satellite campus, and there's probably always some question mark about that.
Yeah, let me pick up on a satellite campus a little bit. History of USMH. History of USMH started in the mid-1980 to 1988. Not USMH, but Frostburg University.
Well, that's right.
So that's when Frostburg came down, and
That's
they were in on the square,
Right.
and they worked with a good bit with Towson and with Salisbury. And I remember Steve Sager and myself were very involved. I was chairman of the board of the county commissioners, and Sager was the mayor of Hagerstown, of how that got started. USMH really got started under the Glendenning administration, probably in 2003.
Probably
when 2003, Governor Glendenning says this building, the old hotel, will become what USMH became. He came up the same day and made your announcement for USMH as he did for the new district court building. So that's a little back history prior to USMH of how higher education came to Hagerstown.
And just an anecdote, Ron talked about the hotel. It's the old Baldwin Hotel. The previous hotel was a wooden structure. By reputation, George Washington slept here. And the building burned down. They rebuilt it out of wood, and it's well burned down. So then a few years before the Civil War, they rebuilt it a third time, this time out of brick. And that's the structure that exists today.
So what do you feel the importance of keeping USMH and the college programs in downtown in terms of revitalization of our city and foot traffic and economic drivers, that sort of thing?
Well, when it was first begun, they talked about the renaissance of downtown. And we have a gala every year around Christmas time that we call Feast and Frolic. And the theme of that has always been Renaissance. And the reason for that is that we were perceived to be, we're not placed ourselves in that position, but we were perceived to be part of the Renaissance of downtown. Because what you have to have in revitalization is a critical mass of important organizations. And that can be the library and the expansion that it went through. It can be USMH. It can be corporations that are coming down, such as Middletown Valley Bank that just recently came downtown. The more traffic than you have, physical traffic, then the more people believe this is not a dying town, but in fact a growing and expanding town. I had a visitor from Salisbury, as a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, and we were walking to lunch, and he said, I can't believe how much traffic there is here. You know, Hagerstown is not that much different in size from Salisbury, but you've got all of this traffic. And he went on to...
Is he talking about this for traffic, or?
No, he was talking about literally physical
Okay.
car and truck traffic. And the point that he made was when Salisbury created its bypass,
Yes.
everyone bypassed downtown. And so now you don't have the walking traffic going to lunch. You don't have the student traffic from the university. He said it's a significantly different vibe, if you will, from Hagerstown that has not only the students, the VISPA students, and our students, but all the physical traffic.
Well, I can definitely attest to that with my many days ago at Salisbury, but we have so much more that we would love to talk to you about. So up next, we will continue our conversation with USMH Executive Director Mark Halsey. We're back in 3 minutes.